So, there was a little while back a contest that that GW and the Black Library were had put out, essentially giving out like, hey, if you want to write for us, do this little 500 word prompt, and it's basically a contest to see who will be writing for the Black Library, and yours truly entered. Of course, I didn't win because obviously, if I did, I'd be crowing it from the rooftops right about now wouldn't I? So I just thought it'd be kind of fun to come on here and talk about the idea I had for that contest, because it's not going I lost. Like, why not? So essentially, the contest was have two characters meet and fight, and have it in the span of like a 500 word scene. The and I really racked my brain over like several characters and meeting each other. Two being Lilith Hesperex, and encountering and fighting Karn the Betrayer. There was also another of Trazyn and Caiaphas Cain, but I settled on this particular story because you never get to see these two factions really clash more often than not, and that is a war between Imhotep the Stormlord and Typhus of the Death Guard. So that was the one I went with, was Imhotep versus Typhus. So the story I had in mind for this contest was basically Typhus has created the perfect plague to infect the Necrons. The Necrons for too long had been resistant to most of Nurgle's blessings. Now, it is known in some of the codexes and some of the other lore that there are some plagues, not all, but there are some few plagues of Nurgle that do make the Necrons ill, but they've basically, for the most part, been able to resist Nurgle's gifts. So Typhus has basically created the perfect plague, and is now just plague bombing Tomb Worlds left and right. Well, obviously this gets the attention of Imhotep because that's under his dynasty. So Imhotep goes on the hunt for Typhus, and Typhus is he's well aware of what worlds he's bombing. Like, he's well aware of what Tomb Worlds and whose dynasty they belong to. Mostly because he wants to draw Imhotep out. He wants to draw him out because two reasons. One, destroying Imhotep's dynasty will cripple a good amount of the Necrons. Also, it'd probably lead him to where the Silent King might be. That was the plan, is that Typhus wants to take out Imhotep and possibly find a way to the Silent King. So Imhotep, that was more or less the idea of just having Imhotep and Typhus, Typhus and the Death Guard that are under his command. They would essentially be hunting each other across the galaxy. Because, again, you don't really get to see a lot of Necron versus Chaos fights. It's mostly because Necrons, for the most part, are dead to chaos, are uncorrupted by chaos. And it's not like they've killed gods before. And the other reason, you do get Space Marine fights, but, the you never get to see a lot of Chaos Space Marines fight Necrons. That's what I wanted to do, was just have Typhus clash with Imhotep. And Imhotep is the reason why I wanted to use Imhotep was because A, I'm a huge Necron fan, and B, I wanted to have him go up against an opponent that is so close to orcs in their illogical sense of combat that it would throw him off guard. I mean, the Death Guard themselves and the Chaos Plagues that they have would no doubt be able to, draw basically confuse and disorient Imhotep and whatever plans he could draw up. That was the thought process. The battle would even go straight into Armageddon, because that was part of the contest too. You had to pick either Kamara, Armageddon, and I forget the last place. But yeah, so I picked Armageddon. So it was more or less a scene where Imhotep had caught up with Typhus, and he's like, "You have taken away 3 tomb worlds from me. I am going to kill you." I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he says. And Typhus is just like, "I look forward to sending you to grandfather." So the two would end in them clashing, and the scene also would have like Necrons, Death Guard, and the Imperial Guard in the Hive City of Armageddon. It's just a free for all in the open fields of Armageddon, and Typhus and Emotech are just facing off, ready to fight. Yeah, but of course I didn't win. Maybe if I went with Caiaphas, Cain, or Trazyn, or the Gore and the Karn and Lilith story, it would have been a little more unique. But I don't know. I also like the reason why I chose against, because I know someone's going to ask, why didn't you go with Caiaphas and Trazyn? Those are like 2 of your favorite characters, Multi. Why didn't you pick them? The reason why I didn't pick them was because I had a sneaking suspicion everyone was going to probably pick those guys too. Also, I didn't go with Angron versus Gazgathol because I have no doubt in my mind 90%, like another good 60% of the audience or other people in the contest would be going, yeah, we're going to use Gazgathol versus Angron to finish up that story of avenging Yarrick and all that. So I decided to go with 2 characters that are popular enough but don't really get a lot of books to themselves. So that's why I picked Typhus. Almost said Typhus. Jesus. Why I picked Typhus versus Emotech. Both from factions that are well loved. It would involve a very popular place. And on top of that, this would be kind of like their own solo novel. Like I would focus on both Typhus's plan of poisoning the Necrons and Emotech racing the clock to find a cure for the Necrons. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go, guys. You guys tell me in the comments below, would you guys wanted to read that? Is it dumb? I don't know. I just thought I'd come on here and talk about it. The contest is well over, and I was just kind of thinking about it today. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.